Good morning, everybody. This is David Bovin, your head of training with Kale Realty. And today we are going to go over some different portions of the Code of Ethics. I thought it would be a good time to remind you guys of this stuff because business is starting to pick up a little bit. So it's always great to have a refresher on the things that you're supposed to be doing, right? So, first of all, what is the Code of Ethics? A realtor is a member of the National Association of Realtors. It's the largest trade organization in America with 1.3 million members. There are 1.7 million total real estate agents, 1.3 million are NAR members. So part of being a realtor is NAR's expectation that all realtors adhere to the Code of Ethics. It's mandatory. There's 17 articles, and they provide standards for conduct with clients and customers, the public, and other realtors. So if a realtor was to violate the Code of Ethics, a complaint could be filed and disciplinary action can be taken by the realtor's local realtor association. So if you're a member of CAR, that would be the Chicago Association, or Main Street is Moore, or NASBAR, North Barrington, okay? But the standard of conduct applies in your dealings with clients and customers. So it's your duty to protect your client's best interest, but treat all parties involved in a transaction honestly. So you're not supposed to lie about anything. Public. Realtors need to meet professional competency standards, stand against discriminatory housing practices. So no discrimination. If you have a client who says, I only want this kind of person to live here, or I don't want any families to live here, or these people have to make X amount of money, that's a housing discrimination case there. So get away from it. Just say, you know what, I can't work with you if that's how you're going to do things. Other realtors must refrain from making false or reckless statements about their fellow professionals. So what that means is they don't want you hopping on social media or talking at an event up on the stage and talking crap about another realtor or making statements that make them seem inadequate, okay? The bottom line is if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, right? That's kind of the rules. Now, the different articles have different things that they entail. So the duties to clients and customers are Article 1 through 9, okay? So, sorry, 1 through 3. Protect the best interests of the client. No misrepresentation, exaggeration, or hiding facts about the property at hand. And realtors should cooperate with each other unless it's not in the best interest of the client, okay? Disclosing any personal interest in the property is 4 and 5. So you cannot recommend service for a kickback or collecting money under the table. Keep client funds separate from your own. You can never intermingle those monies, okay? All documents pertaining to the transaction should be presented to the buyer and seller in understandable terms. So you don't just send a contract or send something over and say, hey, here you go. You need to be able to explain it and make sure that they understand what's going on with what you're presenting. Duties to the public, okay? You have Article 10, no denying services on the basis of discrimination, okay? Article 11, provide clients with competent services only within a realtor's professional scope. And Article 12, no false or misleading advertising. Article 13, don't break the law. And Article 14, cooperate with the Realtor Board's investigative proceedings if charged with a violation. So that's a biggie. That's saying that the board is the one who's going to investigate things and they're going to deal with it, okay? No outside sources will. Now, discrimination is huge. You cannot discriminate whatsoever. If you do, you run the risk of getting some different violations and fines, okay? So keep that in mind. Super, super important. Duties to realtors. So Article 15, no false or misleading statements about other realtors. Don't solicit clients that have already signed an exclusive listing agreement. So that's why we always say whenever you call someone, ask, are you working with a realtor? Okay. If they say yes, okay, great. Thanks for your time. End it there. Article 17, contractual disputes will be mediated or arbitrated by the Realtor Board. Okay. Now, violations. So a realtor or consumer can file an ethics complaint to the local board. So if you have an issue with someone as another realtor, you can complain, or a previous client of yours can complain about you. Okay. Once it's filed, the grievance committee will go over the ethics complaint and arbitration request to see if they're valid. If so, they'll be passed to professional standards committee for a hearing and possible disciplinary actions. So the grievance committee within the board is the committee that goes over all the complaints and all the requests for arbitration, meaning a commission dispute. And if they find it to be valid in their opinion, they'll send it to the professional standards committee to make a decision and have a hearing on it. Okay. So that's how that works. Now, discipline fines cannot exceed $5,000. A letter of reprimand, and the requirement that the respondent attend an education course. So they can make you take extra education. They can send a letter of reprimand to your broker, and they can fine you up to $5,000 for these issues. So take them very seriously. Some common violations are arbitration requests, meaning that there's a commission dispute. Central lock violations are huge. You get fined $2,500. So never just give your client a lockbox code and tell them to go ahead, even if it's your own listing. Okay, it's still a central lock violation. The only people who can access central lock are people who are realtors. Okay, that's it. Article 1, protect the best interest of the client. Article 2, misrepresentation, exaggeration, and hiding facts. Cooperate with each other unless not in the best interest of the client. No false or misleading advertising. Don't solicit clients that have already signed an exclusive listing agreement. So those are some of the most common violations that come up. So keep those things in mind when you're thinking about right and wrong, and if you're having an issue with an agent, okay, things of that nature. Now, there was recently a change last year in Article 10. So NAR's Professional Standards Committee extended the application of Article 10 of the Code of Ethics to discriminatory speech and conduct outside of members' real estate practices. It prohibits realtors from discriminating on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity in the provision of professional services and in employment practices. Okay. Realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs against members of protected classes. The board also approved a change to the professional standards policy, expanding the Code of Ethics applicability to all realtor activities, and added guidance to the code's arbitration manual to help professional standards hearing panels apply this new standard. So really what this came up for is because of social media. Okay, a lot of people would go on there and lambast an agent or lambast a type of person or a status or things like that. And as a realtor, you cannot do that. That is considered a code of ethics violation. So be sure that you keep that stuff in mind. The bottom line is if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. Okay, you can never lie. And if you feel like some of this stuff has been done to you by an agent, by all means report them to your association, because we police ourselves, guys. The only way we can make sure that these things stop happening is to report them. So with that, I will let you guys go. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, david@kalerealty.com. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.